that Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajaka and Paramahamsa. We say like that also. Okay. It's not like that. So, see, this is explanation is given. Vaikhanasa, these four are Vanaprasthas. They live on half-boiled meals. This is Vaikhanasa. So this is the difference between Silonchana and Vaikhanasa. That Silonchana fellow can cook properly and eat, but Vaikhanasa has to eat half-boiled meals.
Half-boiled? Oh my God.
Half-boiled meals. Half-boiled. Vanakilya, one who quits former stock of grain on receipt of more, that he cannot keep grains for more than 1 day. So if he gets more, he should just give it away. Then Audumbara, now he goes in one direction, and whatever direction he goes, whatever he gets to eat, that's what he eats. He doesn't change his direction. He just goes in the one direction. He just walks in one direction, and then in that direction, whatever he gets to eat, then that's what he eats. This is another type of Vanaprastha. Then Fenapa, he lives on fruits which automatically fall from the tree.
Vanaprastha look like so renounced.
Vanaprastha is meant to be renounced.
And Girastha also, because the Girastha, how we just makes,
No, that is the others, no, like those who follow professional duty, those who follow duty according to Vedic literature, those who do business, they are also Grihasthas. No?
But he is just speaking from the whatever.
That is one type of Grihastha, that's a Brahmana Grihastha. Brahmana life is like that, Brahmanas are like that. We thinking Brahmanas means like, we take second initiation, we think I'm Brahmana. No. Brahmana means Patana, Patana, Yajana, Yajana, Dana, Pratigraha. That's it, that's what they can do. If they do anything else, they're not Brahmana.
Just to be relevant, those kind of Vanaprastha could hardly exist.
Correct. So that's why Prabhupada gives very practical instruction of Vanaprastha. Actually, if you go to Kardama's section, which you are going to study, there's a very beautiful purport that Prabhupada in the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada says it's compulsory for everyone to go to forest. Okay. Then by the time he finishes the paragraph, Prabhupada says actually there is no need to go to forest. Okay. So between these two things, Prabhupada actually explains what actually means Vanaprastha in today in modern life. Between these two sentences, it looks two drastically contradictory sentences, but between these two sentences, Prabhupada actually explains what is Vanaprastha in modern life. Prabhupada says very simple, Vanaprastha means that a devotee can or need not live with his wife. Means the husband and wife can do service together or they need not do service together. It's not compulsory. They can stay together also. But they should not have sex. They should engage full-time in Krishna's service. They should not do any part-time service. They should engage full-time in Krishna's service. They can travel and they can visit holy places, and they can travel and preach, or they can stay in one place and do service. If the man and wife are staying together, the wife should act like a secretary to the man in Krishna consciousness. This is what Prabhupada says. This is Vanaprastha, that's it. Very practical.
Prabhuji, this thing again, women don't take a lower role nowadays. Including me. It's very tough. So how to train? Because becoming a secretary, I would say my husband would become my secretary. Because we are both qualified that way. I'm sorry, that's how.
I understand. So Prabhupada says that it is not necessary that husband and wife should stay together. He says that they can be like if a woman thinks that she can do independent service in Vanaprastha, she can go and do service. There's no harm in. Prabhupada is not saying that a woman compulsory should become secretary of her husband. There are different type of women.
No, but that attitude, if I want to cultivate, how would it come? By associating with those who have that quality?
It can come very easily, but only thing, the woman should have the conviction to do it. It can come very easily. Since, it's I will answer, like what my wife does. Okay? So every time she wants to do something, she falls at my feet and take blessing from me.
Oh.
She wants to start a new class. She comes, he says, Roji, I'm going to start a new class today, can you please bless me?
Wow.
Then she falls at my feet and then she takes blessing from me. On any auspicious occasion, she falls at my feet and she takes blessing from me. So, she does many things. It's not that she's just like my secretary. She's also my secretary, but she also does many things on her own. She's very busy throughout the day. She's counseling so many girls. She has her own preaching program. She has her own book reading group. She has her own teaching. She's also a teacher in Mayapur Institute. But every time every season she's going to start teaching. She does Bhakti Shastri teaching for girls. Every time she's going to start teaching, the first day she's going to start teaching, she falls at my feet, she takes blessing from me. Not that I'm qualified husband, but she's qualified wife.
No, it's good to learn. I want to cultivate that, but didn't know where to
But
start.
how many wives will do that?
I can try.
The point is, how many wives will do that? These modern wives, if they think that they have to fall at the feet of their husband, they are thinking, why not my husband fall at my feet? Because Krishna is falling at Radha on his feet, so they should fall at my feet. They think like that, no? They think like that.
Yes, yes.
They think that they are Radha and Krishna. They forget they are Radha and Krishna Das. It's not that she has her own intelligence, she is fiercely independent woman. She has her own ideas. Like, if she disagrees with me, she disagrees with me. It's not that she doesn't have her character of her own. She has a character of her own, but at the same time she also has the culture of being obedient to the husband. Or accepting husband as authority. So people think that accepting husband as authority means that you become slave of the husband. Like Prabhupada very clearly says in one purport that it does not mean that a woman is submissive means that she should become slave of her husband. He says that in West, when the women think that they should become slave of the husband, my wife is not my slave. Far, far from it. But she knows how to accept husband as authority, irrespective of husband being unqualified also. So it's easy, but you should just do it. Like we conduct the Rasta course, me and my wife. We conduct a course called Krishna Conscious Rasta. So we went to conduct a course in Russia. Like one husband and wife, they were sitting and talking, because we're talking about Prabhupada's purports, what is said in Prabhupada's purports and things like that. So then one husband and wife are sitting and talking. Then the wife asked the same thing, that to my wife she asked, she said how to become submissive to husband. So then my wife asked her, have you ever paid obeisance to your husband? Like she was shocked.
The culture is different.
She was shocked. She said, what is this? Then you're asking how to become submissive to husband, pay obeisance to him. Then both the husband also shocked, the wife also shocked. Both of them were shocked. Then I told, then my wife told, okay, ask your husband to get up and pay obeisance to him. So the husband got up and the wife paid obeisance, and the guy is simply standing like this. And I told him that, see, your wife is paying obeisance to you, you offer blessing to her. He doesn't even know that he has to offer blessing to his wife, he's simply standing like this. So the point is that there's a culture which Bhagavatam says, okay, it's there in Prabhupada's books. It's not like it is not there in Prabhupada's books. There's a culture which Bhagavatam teaches us. So if you simply follow that, if you simply learn that culture from Prabhupada's books, then it's easy. And the mood is also right. It is not like, the wife becomes a slave of the husband becomes the master of the house. It's not like that. Rather, Prabhupada teaches husband and wife to become servants of Radha and Krishna. Like I see that many times devotees, they tell their children, oh, you are the prince of the house, or you are the princess of the house. Prabhupada actually teaches the children should be the servants of Radha and Krishna, and the real prince and princess of the house is Radha and Krishna. But we don't teach our children like that. We teach our children, oh, you are my princess. No, you are not my princess. You are the servant of Radha and Krishna. All of us are servants. And children should be proud of it. That I am maid servant of Radharani. I am servant of Krishna. Children should be proud of it. We don't teach them all these things. We teach them enjoying mentality. Oh, you are the prince. You are the princess. Then child wants to sit and order everybody. Oh, I am the prince of the house. So that culture and mood is there in Prabhupada's books. So if we get that, it's possible.
The husband is Diksha Guru for the wife.
He is considered Shiksha, but he should be qualified also. Without being qualified, he cannot claim that position. He cannot, without being qualified, husband cannot say, I am the Shiksha Guru for my wife. Then the wife will say, okay, go to hell. Because he should be qualified also. No. He has to be qualified. You can't claim a position of authority without qualification. Okay, that's very important. Sometimes in ISKCON that also happens. Like the husband, he thinks the wife should be like Devahuti, but if wife should be like Devahuti, that fellow also should be like Kardama, no? He cannot be like Kashyapa and then he want wife like Devahuti. It's not possible. He will get wife like Diti only. If you are Kashyapa, you will get Diti. If you are Kardama, you will get Devahuti. So, this is also very important. That overall, in a Grahastha life, everybody should be humble. It's not that, okay, my wife pays obeisance to me, so I am the king of the house. It's not like that. She is following some culture. That's it. But we should also know what is our position. Okay, so the four renounced order of life, Kutichaka, Bahodava, Hamsa and Nishkriya. So Kutichaka means that he accepts sannyas, but he is still with the family, which means that he is maintained by the family. He is accepted sannyas, but he still lives with the family alone, separately. And the family still maintains him, the family still gives him, supplies him food, family still gives him everything. Okay. This is Kutichaka. Bahodava means that he accepts sannyas and he is not with his family. Now he is dependent on his maintenance for the whole village. That he goes and begs at some time and the villagers provide him whatever he has to give. So this is called Bahodava. And the Hamsas and Nishkriyas, they don't bother to maintain themselves. Whatever Krishna sends, they will simply accept it. We can see these stages in Raghunath Das Goswami's sannyas actually. So Raghunath Das Goswami initially when he came running out of the house, his father actually sent him a brahmana and his father was also giving him allowance. And then Raghunath Das Goswami was feeding everybody with that allowance and he was also eating the remnants of that food. So Mahaprabhu asked Swarup Damodar what Raghunath Das is doing. And Swarup Damodar said he is living with this brahmana who was sent by the father, and father is sending allowance, he is giving feast to all Vaishnavas and he is also eating remnants. He said, okay. Then after some time, Mahaprabhu asked Swarup Damodar what Raghunath is doing. And then he says, oh, he sent the brahmana back. He is not accepting any maintenance from his father. He is standing in Simhadwar and then he is begging. And Mahaprabhu says, okay. Then after some time, Mahaprabhu is asking Swarup Damodar, I don't see Raghunath Das in Simhadwar standing and begging nowadays. What happened? Then Swarup Damodar says that Raghunath Das is saying that this begging is like prostitute profession. That you start expecting someone to give something, like this man put so much in my vessel yesterday, so maybe today also he will give. Then he doesn't give, we get frustrated. When he gives, we become happy. So we become like prostitute instead of a renounced order. So then how he is eating? Then Swarup Damodar says that he is actually taking the rice which is rejected by the cows and then he is washing that rice and then he is eating. So Mahaprabhu became very happy. Okay. Then he goes to Swarup Damodar when he is sitting and eating that rice. He goes to Swarup Damodar, to Raghunath Das Goswami and he is saying, hey, you are eating very nectarian food. You are not sharing with anybody. You fellow, you are so greedy. You are eating alone. Then Raghunath Das Goswami said, no, this is not meant for you. You should not eat this. And forcibly, he actually took that from Raghunath Das Goswami and then he actually ate. And then he said, oh, this is so tasty. Such a nice food you are eating. So Mahaprabhu actually appreciated Raghunath Das Goswami's renunciation. And we can see these steps in his renunciation. First he was living Kutuchaka life, then he went to Bahodava life, and from there he became like Hamsa and Nishkriya. So we can see these stages.
Difference between Hamsa and Nishkriya?
Very minor difference that Hamsa means he is actually he's engaged in gaining transcendental knowledge, and Nishkriya means that he just purely doing devotional service. In our case, we more apply Paramahamsa and Paravijakacharya. Paravijakacharya means that one who goes all round and then he preaches,
Siddha Nishkriya?
and then Paramahamsa means one who sits in one place and then he chants.
Oh. So Paramahamsa will be Hamsa and the Pali, no.
No, basically Nishkriya, Nishkriya means that 100% Krishna consciousness. That's what we define Nishkriya as.
Okay. Realized.
Yeah. Okay, please read.
The science of
Yes, yes.
the science of logical argument, the Vedic goal of life, and also law and order, moral course, and the celebrated hymns Ru, Bhuva, and Swa all become manifested from the mouths of Brahma, and the Pranava Omkara was manifested from his heart.
Okay, next.
Thereafter, the art of literary expression Ushnik was generated from the hairs and the body of the Almighty Prajapati. Principal Vedic hymns, Gayatri, was generated from the skin, Tushtup from the flesh, and Ushtup from the veins, and Jagati from the bones of the Lord.
So these are all different meters in which the Vedic mantras are pronounced.
The art of writing verses, Pankti, became manifested from the bone marrow, and that of Brihati, another type of verse, was generated from the life breath of the Lord of the living entities.
Okay, next.
Brahma's soul was manifested as the touch alphabets, his body as the vowels, his senses as the sibilant alphabets, his strength as the intermediate alphabets, and his sensual activities as the 7 notes of music.
So different type of alphabets and different type of music came from there. Okay.
Brahma is the personal representation of the Supreme Personality Godhead as the source of transcendental sound, and is therefore about the conception of manifested and unmanifested. Brahma is the complete form of the absolute truth and is invested with multifarious energies.
Okay, next.
Thereafter, Brahma accepted another body in which sex life was not forbidden, and thus he engaged himself in a matter of further creation.
So this is the last section. This is the last section of this chapter.
O son of Kurus, when Brahma saw that in spite of the presence of the sages of great potency, there was no sufficient increase in the population, he seriously began to consider how the population could be increased.
Brahma thought to himself, Alice, it's wonderful that in spite of my being scattered all over, there is still insufficient population throughout the universe. There is no other cause for this misfortune but destiny.
Okay, next.
While he was thus absorbed in contemplation and was observing the supernatural power, 2 other forms were generated from his body. They are still separated as the body of Brahma.
Just small purport, please read.
2 bodies came out from the body of Brahma. One had a mustache, and the other had swollen breasts. No one can explain the source of their manifestation, and therefore, until today, they are known as the Kayan, or the body of Brahma, with no indication of their relationship as his son or daughter.
So they came as husband and wife. That's the point.
The two newly separated bodies united together in sexual relationship.
So this was not a forbidden relationship because Brahma had already formed a body where sexual relationship is not forbidden. So he assumed a body like that. So this is not a forbidden relationship.
Brahma has assumed such a body, or he created a prototype?
No, Brahma assumed, first of all, he assumed such a body.
He only assumed.
He assumed such a body, and from that body came these 2 people.
Okay.
He first assumed a body where sex life is not forbidden. And from that body came these two people, and their sex life is not forbidden. And they are not like son and daughter of Brahma. They came without relationship with him.
Oh,
It's clearly explained in the purport, no? They came without relationship with him.
Yes.
So they came as husband and wife. Even though sometimes Manu is treated as son of Brahma, but strictly he is not son of Brahma.
he did not come through the sexual procreation.
No. He appeared from the body of, they both appeared from that particular body of Brahma where sex life is not forbidden. Okay.
Out of them, the one who had the male form became known as the Manu named Swayambhuva, and the women became known as Satarupa, the queen of the great soul Manu.
Yeah. Okay.
Thereafter, by sex indulgence, the gradually increased generation of population, one after another.
Okay.
O son of Bharata, in due course of time he Manu begot. In due course of time he Manu begot in
Shatarupa.
Shatarupa 5 children, 2 sons Priyavrata and Uttanapada, and the 3 daughters Akuti, Devahuti and Prasuditi.
So now in this we will actually see Devahuti's life in the 3rd canto. Okay. 4th canto will actually describe Akuti and Prasuti and also Uttanapad and his descendants. So 5th canto will talk about Priyavrata and his descendants. So we are going to hear a lot about Swayambhu Manu. Then after that, other Manus we hear very little. Sakshusha and all other Manus we hear very little. But we have elaborate description of Swayambhu Manu and his family, because in Swayambhu Manu and his family the Supreme Lord appeared many times. Okay, please read.
The father Manu handed over his first daughter Akuti to the sage Ruchi, the middle daughter Devahuti to the sage Kadamba, and youngest Prasuti to Daksha. From them all the world filled with the population.
So this is the history of the population of the universe given herewith. Brahma is the original living creature from whom were generated the Manu, Swayambhu and Satarupa. From the Manu's 2 sons and 3 daughters were born, and from them all the population in the different planets sprung up till now. Therefore Brahma is known as the grandfather for everyone. The personality of Godhead being the father of Brahma is known the great grandfather of all living beings. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita as follows. Vayu Yamo Nirvaruna Shashanka Prajapatistum Prapitamahascha Namo Namaste Stu Sahasrakritva Punascha Bhuyo Namo Namaste. Okay, let's read this prayer together. You are the Lord of air, the supreme justice Yama, the fire, the Lord of rains. You are the moon, you are the great grandfather. Therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of 3rd canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Creation of Kumaras and Others. Okay, so I think there are 1 or 2 purports which we need to probably examine in this section. Most of them don't have purport in this section. And whatever Okay, please read.
All these groups of knowledge are called Upapurana or supplement of the Vedas. Spiritual knowledge is the main topic of the Vedas, but to help the human being's spiritual pursuit of knowledge, the other information, as above mentioned, forms necessary branches of the Vedic knowledge.
So this is Upapurana. They are all these things, which is Dhanur Veda, Ayurveda, Gandharva Veda, all these things are considered as Upapurana. Okay, subsidiary knowledge which is required for the main knowledge. Okay, please read.
Brahma has knowledge of those historical facts, and therefore all the Puranas are histories. As originally composed by Brahma, they are part of the Vedas and are called the 5th Veda.
Yeah, so Brahma could see the whole creation, what is going to happen from beginning of the day to end of the day. So therefore he wrote all the Puranas and everything. So Vidya means knowledge by which the misunderstanding of self is cleansed. This is Saucham. Danam, charity of fearlessness. This is actual compassion. Regular charity is given as not 1/60th of the charity of fearlessness. Therefore, this is Daya. So normally we understand that Satya, Tapa, Saucham and Daya, they are the 4 pillars of religion. But here it is given Vidya, Danam, Tapa and Satyam as 4 pillars of religion. But how Vidya is connected to Saucham and Danam is connected to Daya. That's explained here.
Can you repeat once more?
So Vidya means knowledge by which the misunderstanding of self is cleansed. So that's why it is Saucham. Charity means charity of fearlessness. That's why it is Daya.
Charity of fearlessness means
Yeah.
not feeling bad after giving.
No, becoming fearless. You will see this in the next section where Kardama and Devahuti are there. So Kardama will tell Devahuti, I'll give you charity of fearlessness. I'll award you fearlessness, he will say. Okay. So that's considered the highest charity. Means how one becomes Krishna fearless by becoming Krishna conscious. Okay. So charity of Krishna consciousness is Daya. Prabhupada also says that, that preaching is the real mercy. Okay, can you please read this?
The beginning of the social institutions is based on the education meant for the purifying the animal propensities of the human being. The highest preparatory process is knowledge of the Supreme Personality Body, the purest of the pure.
So I also explained the connection between Vidya, Danam, Tapa and Satyam. The Vidya is for Brahmachari, Dana is for Grahastha, Tapa is for Vanaprastha and Satyam is for Sannyasi. Do we have any other purport which we have to read?
49.
Okay, please read.
Brahma is the complete representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and transcendental sounds, pranava, comes from him, is therefore invested with multifarious energies from which all the demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna are manifested. His transcendental value is not to be minimized, even though he exhibited ability to enjoy his own daughter. There is a purpose for the exhibition of such a tendency, and he is not to be condemned like an ordinary living being.
Yeah, so after explaining what all wonderful things Brahma did, now Prabhupada actually explains. So this one small discrepancy from Brahma, this should not be taken as very serious, because Brahma's greatness is not compromised by that small discrepancy. Okay, that brings us to complete end of this chapter, where we have seen all the different things. So we have one option that we already decided to meet tomorrow. That was the original decision which we took, because I was thinking that this chapter will extend, but somehow we finished by Krishna's mercy on time.
Oh, really?
So we can do the yoga ladder tomorrow, then it will be a little peaceful, we will have more time. Or if you want to do yoga ladder today, then we should finish maybe in half an hour, we can sit and we can finish yoga ladder. It's up to you.
For you, it obliges you to come now. If you come tomorrow, then you have to come here and...
Yeah, that's okay. I don't have.
So, also like next unit has 7 chapters in 5 days.
Next unit we'll utilize the Saturday of the next unit.
If you want this.
This is anyway going to happen. It all depends on how the class goes. If it next unit is very it's a very interesting and very intriguing unit. It has all sorts of twists and turns, and it is like reading a suspense novel. Till the end, you don't never figure out who is the hero, who is the villain. In the beginning, it looks like somebody is the hero, somebody is the villain, and then in the end, it turns out somebody else is the hero and somebody is the villain.